All right, guys. For those of you who have been paying attention to what gets uploaded and when, I apologize for the delay. It's Wednesday. I meant to get these other videos up on Tuesday evening, but unfortunately there were some technical issues with the internet at my house, and I couldn't actually get the videos sent. So this is picking up where we left off in the previous video. We just got done placing our wall sections on our sheet. Now there are a couple things that we've got left to do, and most of them have to do with interior elevations. And at the moment, we really don't have anything to show on our elevations. So I'm going to open my ground floor plan. I'll show you what I mean. Now I want to show the interior elevation here of this bathroom. This one's going to be easy enough, but we don't have any kitchen information shown, and I want to see that in elevation. And if I go to my second floor, we have no fixtures in our master bath. So I'm going to fix both of those issues of sort of missing casework before I go placing elevation keys and all that other kind of stuff. So, ground floor, we're going to work on getting our kitchen cabinets placed. And the first thing that we do is we go to our insert tab, go to load family, casework. I want base cabinets. And this one I want to load in the base cabinet filler. I'm going to hold down the control key on my keyboard. Base cabinet double door sink unit. You know what? I won't use that one. I'll just use double door and 2 drawer, because you can actually take a sink unit where it's got a one fixed panel across the front and make it look like 2 drawers. It's not really a big deal. And I want base cabinet single door and drawer. So these are the three different families that we're going to load up: base cabinet, double door, and 2 drawer; base cabinet filler; base cabinet single door and drawer. So I'm going to load all of those families into my project file. Okay, I'm going to scroll down in my project browser until I can see the available casework sizes that I have. And here's my base cabinet double door, base cabinet filler. I'm just going to open all these up because I'm going to need to go back and forth between them all, and I want to do it kind of quickly. The first thing I'm going to select is going to be, dun, 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 yes, that looks about right, 24-inch, yes, 24-inch base cabinet single door and drawer. Just drag and drop. And remember when we placed our vanity, the crosshairs where I am and where the dash line is that shows my base cabinet, uh, my crosshairs are at the back edge center line of the cabinet. So if I push the space bar and rotate this before I place it, I can zoom in and I can nestle it right up in that corner, just like that. It's beautiful. It's exactly what I want. Okay, the next thing, truthfully, I do want another. No, I wanted a different size. I wanted a different size, and I'll get that in a minute. I'm now going to place some 30-inch cabinets. So left click and drag, push the space bar to rotate it, and I'm going to nestle him in. Now you notice that when I move my cursor, you'll see that I get these highlights that let me know that I'm aligned up. In this case, if you look at the front edge of the cabinet, just above the cabinet I'm currently placing, you'll see it's highlighted. That lets me know I'm in alignment. And that looks like it's lined up. And I want 1, 2, just like that. Beautiful. And now I'm going to come down and I want a 21-inch base cabinet single door. Drag and drop, push the space bar to rotate him, drag him into position just like that. Beautiful. That right there is exactly what I wanted. But what I'm going to do that's a little different is I'm going to highlight these 3 cabinets. I'm going to use my move command, and I'm going to move him down 30 inches. And just like in AutoCAD, I can click an origin point where I want to move from. In this case, it's just somewhere out in outer space. I don't want to snap onto anything for any reason during the process of this command. So I left click, I drag in the direction that I want to go, and I type in the distance that I want to go in that direction. So I can type in 2'6", or in this case 2 space 6. Revit will automatically convert that to 2 feet and 6 inches. I push return, and I've moved that cabinet. There's now a 2 foot, or a 30-inch gap right here. And that's exactly what I wanted. Strange as it sounds, that's what I wanted. Okay. What I need to do now is I'm going to put in a kitchen island over here. And in order to use a kitchen island, I need to make sure there's a wall that runs along the back edge. And the absolute easiest way to place a wall is just grab a hold of one that already exists in the project, come up to create similar, and I'm just drawing it. I don't care where it is, upper, vertically or horizontally at the moment. I will come back and fine tune that in a minute. But my next step, like I said, I've placed my wall. I've got these cabinets along the left side of the kitchen. I now want to create or place a couple of cabinets against this wall. Hang on. I don't exactly want to place it against the wall. For those of you who used a galley style kitchen on your AutoCAD plans, remember I told you that you needed a minimum of 4 feet clear in between your cabinets to make sure that there's clearance for people to walk by both ways. I need to make sure that clearance exists, and I don't know if the wall's in the right place. So I'm going to go on my Annotate tab, click on Detail Line, and I'm just starting a line here, drawing across, dragging the direction I want to go, type in the distance I want to go, 4 feet, push return, and I'm just drawing one big line just like that. This is going to be the front edge of my cabinets when I get them into place, okay? And the first thing that I want is a 36-inch base cabinet, double door, and 2 drawers. So move him around. I'm going to push the space bar 3 times to get him rotated the way I want him. And even though I can place him with the back edge against the wall, I don't want to do that. I want to place him with the front edge against that line that I just drew. And it looks like a fairly decent place to put him. So that's pretty happy right there. I now want a 24-inch single door. Drag and drop. Push the space bar 3 times. Rotate him 270 degrees. And I want him right here. Lined up front of the cabinet and against that line. There we go. Now the next thing I'm going to place is this filler cabinet. Drag and drop. Spacebar, spacebar, spacebar. So this time, I'm just going to place him right here. I need to make some modifications, and then I need to move him. So if I select this cabinet, or this filler cabinet, and change its width over here in my object properties to 1.5 inches, then I'm going to use my move command to nestle him up against this 36-inch cabinet. But then I'm going to use my move command again, and I'm going to move him 2 feet down. The reason I did that, again, this goes back to the AutoCAD examples and the AutoCAD plans that we did. What do we have when we've got a 2-foot vacant spot at the end of counter and a 1.5 inch closure strip? That is what we need. That's what we do for a dishwasher. So that's where our dishwasher is going to go in this plan. It's looking pretty good. I think I'm going to take this information and I'm going to move him a little bit. Maybe just a little bit. Let's move him down 1 foot. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm going to select these lines, control click to get both of them, delete. I need to make sure this wall is in the proper position, so I'm going to zoom in. And I'm going to go to modify and use my align tool. I'm aligning to the back of my cabinet. So that's my first click, and my second click is the wall, because that's what I'm moving to align to the back of the cabinet. Now I want to make sure that this wall is 3 inches past either end of all the cabinets here. So back to my Annotate tab, click on Detail Line. It doesn't really matter where I started from, but I'm going to zoom in until I can get to 3 inches, and then across. Zoom back out, come to the filler panel, start at the outside, 3 inches and across. Now if I wanted to, I could use my grip, select my wall, and just use my grip and just drag him until he intersects that. That's one way I can edit this. The other way, and this is awfully close, but back on my Modify tab, I can use my Trim Extend to Single Element. The first thing I select is what I'm extending to or what I'm trimming with. So that's my first click. My second click is the wall because I want the wall to go to that line. There we go. It's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I'm now going to delete those lines. And the one thing that's really missing from the one thing I have left to do actually from this particular wall is this wall is too high. You can see here it goes all the way to the second floor, but it's 1 foot short of the second floor. This is going to be a bar top wall, and so I don't need it to be that tall. So instead of a top constraint, I'm going to select unconnected, and its unconnected height is 3 foot 10 and a half. That way the bar top is going to sit on top of it. And because the section cut for a floor plan happens right at about 4 feet or 4.5 feet, because I'm no longer cutting through it, it's no longer thick and bold like these other walls over here. That's why it looks different now. Okay, that's kitchen countertops, or kitchen cabinets. Let's get some countertops on here. Insert tab, load family. We're already in casework and we're already looking at the base cabinets. I want to go up one. I want to look at countertops. And we're going to insert two different kinds here, two different kinds of countertop here. Now, you know what? Some of you, I made mention of this in both of the classes. Some of the examples were using some really ugly, nasty things. I want to show you a little more pretty version of what can be put in. So I want a countertop and a countertop with a sink hole. In class, I showed you guys countertop with a sink, but that's actually like it's like a 42-inch sink, and we're trying to put it in a 36-inch cabinet, and it really doesn't work. So we're going to use countertop with a sink hole and countertop. So I want both of these in here. So click open. Now they're both loaded in the current project. You'll see them show up here. Get rid of these. We'll come back and we'll insert some more. Countertop with a sink hole. 24-inch depth, drag and drop. We'll put him in place just like the countertops. I need to space bar once, twice, 3 times, and we'll move him into position. And I know he's not in his final position, and that's okay, because I can still use my align tools to align him to the back like that. And you could tell it didn't move that properly. Okay, I don't want to use my align tool. I undid that. I'm going to use my move tool. There we go. That's better. Now I'll use my align tool to there's the center line of the cabinet, and there's the center line of the hole for the sink. And then I'll modify the other ends of this countertop here manually, but I need to draw some reference lines for that, just like we did with these walls. So back to annotate, detail line. I'm gonna start here at the end, 1 inch. Now I can take my countertop, drag that in until he intersects like that. Highlight and delete. Detail line, start at that end, go down 1 inch and across. Now I can take my countertop, drag him until he intersects with that line that I just drew. There we go. Highlight all of those and delete. Okay, so that's the hole for the sink. I promise you we will come back and I'll actually put a sink in there. And there's one other little piece of information that we need to put here, and that's the actual bar top. We'll get to that in just a second. Since we already have our countertop family loaded and it's ready to go, let's get those placed real quick. Now, I know I have a similar condition down here at this end where I want the countertop to hang off the end. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my drafting line in here in advance of when I'm actually going to need it. So countertop, drag and drop. Rotate. There we go. And I will start. Let's zoom in so I can snap to the part where I really need it. There we go. That's where he's going to live. Highlight those lines and delete them so I don't need them. In Revit, just like AutoCAD, there's a lot of use of temporary lines and construction lines and things like that, just to make sure things line up. Okay, so there's that piece of countertop, but I need another piece right over here. So I'm going to select this counter, and I'll use my copy command, and I'll start at that end, and I'll copy him down to here. At the moment, these things intersect, but I can grab a hold of that push-pull and then make him line up like that. Okay, that's great. That's beautiful. We're not done with our kitchen cabinets. We're coming close, but we're not done. Where we need to go next is I'm going to open my project folder where I saved those files that I downloaded. Remember the course materials, project 3. I know it's in here. Okay, wait a minute. Where'd it go? Classes. This is for the video. Revit. There we go. Project 3 instructions and resources. This is what we downloaded from Blackboard. So I'm going to open this, and you will see there's a family in here called bar top. Just take that from your Explorer window, drag and drop it right directly on top of your Revit window. I'll push the space bar to rotate him properly. And I want him, you can see I'm right on that corner right there. But what I want to do is I'm actually going to move him into place where he's a little better positioned. So I'm going to move him down an inch. And then I'm going to move him to the left an inch. So if you can see that now that I have him highlighted, how the wall itself is sitting in the position that I want it to. And all I have to do now is shrink him back so that he's an inch in front of that. Inch in front of the end of the wall. I'll use my drafting lines. End of the wall. Oops, that was an inch and a quarter. Where are you? There you go. There's an inch and across. Highlight. Same drag tool. Bring him down like that. Delete those two lines. There. Now we've got our bar top. And one of the things that we're missing though is we need to actually put that sink in. Let's get that real quick. Insert, load family. I need to back my way out of the casework and come down to plumbing fixtures. Where to go? Plumbing, architectural, fixtures, sinks, and there's sink double. There it is. Sink, kitchen, double. That's the one I want. Scroll down in our project browser until we find, here's plumbing fixtures, sink, kitchen, double. You see right here, 42 by 21. This is a 42-inch sink. We don't want a 42-inch sink. When I drag and drop and place him, you can see he is definitely bigger than he needs to be. But you know what? We're about to fix that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place him here. Click cancel. He's obviously too big. So if I select him, come over to my properties palette, click edit type, click duplicate. And this one is going to be 34 inches by 21 inches. I want that X to be lowercase so it matches the other one. So 34 inches. The width, the original one that we started with over here, 42 by 21. Well, this is that 42 inches, but now I want it to be 34 inches. So I change this to 34 inches. Click OK. And now suddenly we have a smaller sink in there that actually fits where we need it to. So for those of you who saw this in either the 501 or the 502 class, the morning class, the afternoon class, I'm sorry, it's okay. You don't have to change it, but if you want to, there it is. It's there for you. What we need now in the kitchen is I want upper cabinets along this wall. I'm going to collapse my plumbing fixtures, come back up to casework. I'm still on my insert tab. I will click load family. Back my way out of the plumbing fixtures, back up to casework, wall cabinets, upper cabinet single door with glass, upper cabinet double door with glass. Those are the two cabinets that I want to load into the project. Click open, They should show up in here in just a moment. There we go. I'm gonna extend these so I can see what's going on. Okay. Just so happens we have a 21 inch right there, and that's good because this end condition is 21. Now you see how I have this universal no symbol where my cursor is? It's because this is a wall-based family and it will not show up until you get your cursor next to a wall. I'm going to put it more roughly in the spot that it needs to. We'll fine-tune its placement in a minute. So there's the 21. We'll drag the 24. There we go. And now I want a 30, and then I want that 32 more times right through here. And again, I know they're all over the place. The cabinets are overlapping, but it's okay. We're about to go back and fix it with the Align tool. So I'm going to zoom in. AL to start my Align tool. This is the edge I'm going to align to. This is the edge of the cabinet I'm moving to align with the previous edge, just like that. Now, I'll work my way across so that all of the cabinets line up. Okay, so that's all the kitchen cabinets that we need. Next video is going to be the cabinetry and the fixtures in the master bathroom. So sit tight, we'll see you in a minute.